Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Anton, this is Film Fest, blah blah blah. Today I'm going to talk about a nice movie that I watched some time ago. Though this movie is from 2011, I only watched it recently. I'm talking about Drive. This movie is one of the best ones I've ever watched of neo-noir cinema with a stylish aesthetic, a gripping story, and a brilliant performance by the one and only Ryan Gosling. If you haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend it, but be warned, this movie is not for the faint of heart. It has some of the most brutal and realistic violence I've ever seen on screen. If you haven't seen this movie yet, stop this video right now because it will probably contain some spoilers, so this is a spoiler alert. Drive is based on a 2005 novel by James Salis, but the screenplay by Rosanna Min makes some significant changes to the plot and the characters. The movie follows an unnamed protagonist played by Gosling, who works as a mechanic, a stunt driver, and a getaway driver for hire. He lives a quiet and solitary life until he meets his neighbor, Irene, played by Carey Mulligan, and her young son, Benicio. He develops a bond with them and offers to help Irene's husband, Standard, played by Oscar Isaac, who owes money to some dangerous criminals. The driver agrees to be the wheelman for a robbery that is supposed to pay off Standard's debt, but things go horribly wrong when they are double-crossed by Nino, played by Ron Perlman, and Bernie Rose, played by Albert Brooks. The driver finds himself in a deadly game of cat and mouse with the mobsters, who want to eliminate him and anyone who knows about the heist. One of the things that makes Driver stand out is his amazing direction by Nicholas Winding Refn, who won the Best Director award at the Cannes Film Festival for this film. Refn creates a stunning contrast between the neon-lit night scenes and the sun-drenched day scenes, using colors and lighting to create different moods and atmospheres. He also uses long takes, slow motion, and silence to build tension and suspense, as well as to emphasize the emotions of the characters. The cinematography by Newton Thomas Seeger is also superb, capturing the beauty and the danger of Los Angeles. Another thing that makes Drive memorable is its soundtrack. Composed by Cliff Martinez, the music is a mix of synth pop songs and ambient score, creating a retro-futuristic vibe that fits perfectly with the film's style. The songs are carefully chosen to match the scenes they accompany, such as Night Call by Kavinsky during the opening credits.
They're talking about you, boy, but you're still the same.
A Real Hero by College Fit Electric Youth during the driver's first date with Irene.
Human being. And a real hero.
Or Under Your Spell by Desire.
I don't eat, I don't sleep, I do nothing but think of you.
The score also added to the drama and the intensity of the film, especially during the action sequences. But perhaps the most impressive aspect of Drive is its lead actor, Ryan Gosling. I already talked about him in the video about Blade Runner. He is one of my favorite actors. I've seen he doing a lot of things. I've seen he doing comedy. I've seen he doing action movies and this kind of different vibe in indie movies. Gosling delivers one of his best performances ever as the driver, because it's a man of few words but many emotions. Gosling manages to convey so much with just his eyes, his facial expressions, and his body language. He makes us care about his character even though we know very, very little about him. He also shows us his range as an actor, switching from calm and cool to violent and ruthless in an instant like this. Gosling does most of his own driving stunts in the film, which adds to its credibility and authenticity. And today I have prepared some different thing to do in this video. I have prepared 5 curiosities about this movie for y'all to know a little bit more about it, so let's go. Number 1. In preparation for his role, Ryan Gosling restored the 1973 Chevy Malibu that his character uses in the film. Number 2. The driving and Irene actually say very little to each other, primarily because Ryan Gosling and Carey Mulligan felt that their scenes should be more focused on the mood and refused to say many of the scripted lines. Mulligan summarized making the film as staring longingly at Ryan Gosling for hours each day. This is kind of funny. With number 3, this is kind of surprising. It surprised me when I started searching this to make this video. Number 3 is Ryan Gosling actually replaced Hugh Jackman, who was originally cast as the driver but dropped out due to scheduling conflicts. Can you imagine Hugh Jackman as the driver? Number 4. Despite the driving storyline, director Nicholas Winding Refn has no interest in cars whatsoever. He doesn't have a driver's license and he failed his driver's test 8 fucking times. Nicholas and Ryan Gosling met for the first time at a restaurant, but the meeting was awkward and disappointed because Refn was sick with the flu and on heavy medication. The meeting only turned around when Refn asked Gosling to drive him home, and they bonded over listening to Real Speedwagon's "Can't Fight This Feeling" on the radio. Well, these are the 5 curiosities I prepared for this video. I hope you enjoyed them. I'll bring more in the next videos for sure. My favorite scene of this movie is when the driver kills Nino and then he calls Bernie and he tells that story of the frog and the scorpion, that the whole thing. This is a reference to an old fable about a scorpion who asks a frog to carry him across a river. The frog agrees, but the scorpion stings him halfway, dooming them both. The scorpion says that it's his nature to sting, even if it means his own death. I've watched some reaction videos about the movie on YouTube and some people talking about the movie, and people usually leave this out or they don't give the meaning it deserves, but this scene is very powerful, at least for me. Of course, this is my opinion. There are different interpretations of the scorpion and the frog in relation to the movie. Some people think that the driver is the scorpion who stings himself when he reveals his violent nature in front of Irene, ruining his chance of a normal life. Others think that the driver is the frog who tries to help others and escape from his criminal past, but he is surrounded by scorpions who hurt him and betray him. He even wears a jacket with a scorpion on his back, symbolizing his burden and his fate. The story also foreshadows the final confrontation between the driver and Bernie, who are both scorpions in their own way. So it depends on how you see the driver's character and his choices. So what do you guys think about this? I like to think of him as the scorpion and the frog at the same time. Like, he's living his own life, he tried to be the frog and help Standard, but eventually he have to become the scorpion again and face Bernie and this whole situation who happens to come to him. He's both the scorpion and the frog depending on the situation and the people he interacts with. He can't escape his nature, but he also can't ignore his feelings. I don't know, that's just my interpretation about this whole scorpion and frog situation. Drive is not just a movie about cars and crime, it's also a movie about love, loneliness, about identity and morality, about dramas and reality. It's a movie that explores what it means to be human in a world that is often cruel and chaotic. It's a movie that will stay with you long after it ends. That's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new about Drive. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, blah blah blah. Sorry for the helicopter passing above me right now. And well, let me know in the comments what you think of Drive. Do you love it? Do you hate it? What are your favorite scenes or moments? And what other movies would you like me to talk about next? That's it. Thanks for watching and see you next.